one of the things we said just about bullying is that, you had a bat, you went out to the guard, you bopped him, you went home, and you were done.
Right. It
And
was over.
now it follows you.
Yes.
And so you never escape. And so even with the state your case, we're encouraging parents to take it, right? Maybe you haven't dealt with conflict and then you are taking that out on your child. And
that's
you
good.
know, and
That's
so we didn't have this like revelation of social emotional learning in
Right.
schools. And so some parents have had child young, right? So maybe you can take it or just look at the questions and have a discussion. The whole point is to start the conversation, right?
Okay.
To try to eliminate some of this. And the more we can get parents and teachers and leaders to have these conversations with our young people and teach them coping mechanisms. Like, we're super excited because when we find out, the data, because we're actually going to gather all of this data,
Right.
we'll be able to see where are the students, where are their
Statistically and all.
challenges, right?
Okay.
And then address them, do some role play.
Okay, let me ask you a question, and I want to ask Mr. McCray as well. How do you identify, or how can you cope with occupational bullying? Because I just believe that there's bullying going on in jobs as well. So how does one handle that without just wanting to go in there and just take everything down? Knock over the cabinets and everything. How do you handle that?
So it's funny you mention that. So I still am in corporate. I do this, full-time, part-time for the nonprofit. So the first thing I say is just use some of our techniques, right? When you understand someone's coming at you, they're disrespecting you. They might be trying to make you look, difficult on a call. They might be trying to do something to come against you. Take a step away. Even if you have to go walk around the block.
Take a breath.
Get your composure.
That's good.
Yeah. It's never allow someone to take you out of your integrity, out of your character, because then you're giving them the power.
Yes.
So even if you have to take a step back, you just take that step back. You take a walk, you breathe, you meditate, you pray, whatever your thing is, and you say, I'm not going to allow this person to take me out of my character or my integrity. I always say a famous quote is, if integrity was easy, everybody would be doing it, right?
You're right. and you know what? That's so good and powerful. But don't that tie in with peer pressure? Because the way we were raised, you don't let somebody minimize the magnitude of your manhood publicly. The worst thing you can do to a man is slap him in his face or spit in his face. And if you were raised as a man, you're supposed to stand your ground. So how do you compose yourself? How do you grab the inner strength to overpower this natural situation that's arising?
So that is a very good question and comment. And a lot of our young men are in fatherless homes.
Wow.
And haven't been taught to be a man or how to address situations. Sometimes being raised by a woman who resents the man that they look like.
Yes. Just because you look like your daddy.
Right.
I'm mad at you, and I take it out on your daddy.
Right.
On you, right.
So that's why I give them tips and techniques, and we just have to continually teach them and empower them and say that you can do that, right? I've been through a lot of situations and I'm young. They say, I always say, any great passion or movement has a story.
Right.
So when I was 17, I lived out of my home, out of my car. My father was bipolar schizophrenic.
Okay.
And so he was there, but he wasn't there. And so then eventually he wasn't there, and I was one of the only single parent homes in the 80s.
Wow.
So I do believe God. I believe that God can help our young people, right? That there's tools and there's different things, but I didn't have anybody. Right. So I always said, I want to be that person that no one had. So I encourage young people to reach out to some of their family, friends, going back to it takes a village, right? So if the father's not around, and if this one's not around, you know what? There might be that amazing teacher that you can reach out to. There are people. Now, I encourage young people to go 2 by 2.
Okay.
Because we can get into a lot of other subjects that are going on right now with young people. And I say, even if it's your counselor, if it's your coach.
Have a witness.
Have someone there, because there's a lot of other things going on with sex trafficking and kids being taken and different things. And because they don't have those coping mechanisms, and because some of our video games and our different things are
Encouraging.
preparing our young
Yeah.
people and
Yes,
encouraging them
it
to
really
go
is.
this direction, right? So there's a lot to it.
You know what? Real quickly, this is what have me baffled. With technology being the way it is now, and as many resources as not only children but as people have, it seemed like rather than bullying diminishing or decreasing, it has intensified. And you would
Yeah.
think that with technology that we have all these answers that will bring a pathway of escape. But it's almost like, I guess it goes to what you were saying. It depends on how you're using social media, because they have all these games that encourage violence.
Correct.
And so it make the challenge twice as hard.
And it's like in the 70s when, a lot of times everyone used to say money is bad.
Right.
Money is bad. Money, you don't want money. Money is bad, because of all the different things that were going on in the 70s that were, attributing for money. It's like technology. Technology's not good or bad. It's what you're doing with it.
Correct.
And I think it is so important for the connections, right? So that's why we encourage technology, right? We know you're going to use it, so we
Right.
want you. That's why we do STEM challenges. We're going to be doing one with the school, but we're asking young people, how can you use technology to solve social problems?
That's good.
So how can we turn it around for good instead of just looking at the negative aspects? And so, like, here there are tools, right? So
Right.
we can use technology and we can use those tools and we can make that impact.
Now, listen, there are so many people. There are so many people watching us right now. So many people all over. A lot of people watching. Okay, here's my point. They need some information. They need some contact information. You may have someone that's reaching out. They're hiding behind the covers, needing to tell somebody, but don't know who to tell. They can't tell the friends, can't tell the family. They may call them scary. They may minimize their mentality. They may saying they have an illusion. They need some information, and I believe that God sent you all here today to give them information to these people that will be the way of escape. So give them some information. Let them see your shirts really well. Let them see your shirts. State your case. Conflict, anger, self-esteem at NYWUSA. Give us that information. Give us your contact information real quickly.
Sure. So we have a website, which is www.nywusa.com. And then we are all things social media, nywusa.com. But the important one that we've been talking about today that can help either if you're being bullied or help identify if you are a bully would be www.stateyourcase.us.
State your case. In other words, you're giving them a voice and an opportunity to say something.
Yes.
Somebody has to say something in order for this thing to be exposed, because just like the 11-year-old baby, people are dying behind this. And it's not funny, and it's not a joke, and and we take it for granted that, oh, you better learn to fight or whatever. Everybody wasn't raised as a fighter. And so the people that were not raised as fighters, the people that were not raised as violent, some innocent people are just really getting overtaken by this horrendous act that's going on.
Well, and I just wanted to mention that, right? So we talk about fighting. Why a lot of young people don't want to fight today is because they're not just fighting.
Right.
There's guns involved. There's
That's
knives
right.
involved. They
That's
use the
right.
infrastructure of the school.
Right.
So when you talk to young people, like where maybe they may be like, oh, you said that about me, whatever. And it's like, no. There's guns. Like in
Right.
Alabama, there was a conflict. That young man came back with a gun at a football game and shot 10 of his peers.
Wow.
Right here
Wow.
in Arlington, the guy that was trying to stop the fight lost his life.
Wow.
Was a football player, and he was just trying to help out.
So it's
So we
many-
say utilize the resources,
Yes.
because even just trying to help out, this young man lost his life. You have the two young men that killed the apartment manager, over in Dallas. Now, the apartment manager's life's affected, but so are the two young men.
Right.
And they may not know they have. If you grow up in an angry environment, you may not know you're angry until it's too late.
And it's
You might
coming
not
for
know
you.
the extent
Right.
that you would
Right.
be put in a situation. So that's why we're saying, empower our youth to have that conversation. So basically what it is it's a survey, and it asks 5 questions in each area. And so when our young people take this, some of them have been saying to me, I didn't even know I had a problem with anger.
Wow.
And there it is. And that's how we can help them. And what we want to do is teach young people to respond instead of react.
Okay. I tell you what, there are so many people watching us. We have about 2 minutes left. What we want to do is give them an opportunity, first of all, to come to Christ, because none of this is nothing without God. Okay. I know everyone has their own belief and all of that, but we're based upon the belief that God is able to do abundantly above all we can ask or think. And so I want everyone to point to the cameras with us right now. There may be somebody that's on the verge of suicide, hidden in a closet, hurting, a wife that's being abused, bullied by her husband. A husband may be getting whooped by his wife. You never know. Brothers or sisters bullying. But Father, in the name of Jesus, we extend our hands with grace and mercy and pray that you would touch the hearts of these people, give them encouragement, give them strength. Comfort their hearts and spirits and mind, that they will come to you and seek, and that they will look after the right connection to get the help they need. In Jesus' name, amen. So, Ms. Hoff, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to have you on the show. Miss Elizabeth, thank you
so
for
much.
the sacrifice that you make in endeavoring with the children. We need good teachers that will impact our lives, that we can go back and say, look, Miss Elizabeth, I remember in the 4th grade or 7th grade you did something, and now, they come back and they millionaires. They may bring you a Twinkie or something. I don't know. But we're so excited about the fact that you are impacting people's lives.
Thank you.
There's no doubt in my mind, Ms. Hoff, there has to be another jewel that's already preset for your crown. And so it makes a difference when you can do something positive. Dr. McCray, for years, man, for generations, you've been impacting this community, reaching out in every area, man, from artists to music to production to community help, all type of things across the board. I honor you. You're one of the icons of this city. And I really think that you need to be honored in so many ways. So, man, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you for all the connections. Thank you, Ms. Hoff. Thank you, Miss Elizabeth. Listen, you've been watching It Had to Be God broadcast with Apostle Vanell Warren. We're so excited to have you here. I want you to help stop the bullying. Reach out. If you need some more contact information, call me, and I promise you we will get this information to you so we can come together and be a part of some of these great functions. Until next week, we love you, and no bully can stop it. We'll stop the bullying. God bless.